What's up, pumpkin heads? It's Mike here, July 1st, and you are looking at a pumpkin on a scale. You're watching Moby Mike Pumpkins on YouTube. Plants are looking real good. These secondaries, they are just growing awesome. Real nice and thick there, you can see. So, good secondary growth. I'm out here doing some training. I loop hoed this whole thing. And then I got this 2261 Schmitz, 11 days old. We've got everything prepped for the scale. So we'll take the scale, we'll set it on here. I'll lift it up, I'll have my friend slide it under there. We'll get it in position. Then we'll put the topper on, slide that over. So all those vines will have to come up. So I got that all cleared up, got leaves cut off, whatnot. Anyway, yeah, it's been pretty wet here. Here's something cool that always happens when it rains a lot. You get roots coming up for moisture, and then it's been cloudy and stuff too. And then when it's like cloudy and really wet, you get a lot of vines popping out. So there's a lot of that secondary rooting we're seeing. So anyway, that's a 2261 Schmidt, day 11. And tomorrow will be 12 and we'll get her on the scale. Got the scale all set up. It is day 15. It's a pretty small pumpkin for day 15, but I'm not too worried about it. It's growing and looks to be okay. I'm gonna actually go ahead and we're gonna call this 0 pounds. Obviously it's not 0 pounds, but so whatever number is reading on the scale right now, we're gonna subtract from it for the rest of the year. So 2261 Schmidt, all set up. Vine pattern just like the other one, main's dead-headed. Let me show you the bonehead move of the year. When I was in here trimming leaves to get this thing ready, see if we get the sun off it. Do you see that? That is me accidentally cutting the plant with the knife. Not cool. Should be okay. It's not terribly deep. It's not terribly far across. But nonetheless, it opens us up for a point of infection and rot, and could be a season ender. Might not be though. So should be okay. 2261 Schmidt, like I said. Pretty small pumpkin for day 15. Let's go look at the 2593 Peyton. And that one's 1 day older and it's doing really well. So let's go take a look at that. All right, 2593 Peyton, day 16. Beautiful pumpkin, nice shape, long stem. Plant looks pretty good. I need to get buried to get caught up here, so we'll get that done here tonight. But good looking pumpkin, day 16. More of the size I expect at this date, but nice shape, super long stem. I see a lot of guys posting pictures, of, like stem cracks and stuff like that. Don't worry about that. That'll be just fine. That'll heal right up. You won't even know it. It'll keep doing it. Eventually that stem will get huge and that won't be a problem. So I think everything's looking pretty good with it. 2593 Peyton. Here's an unfortunate event, guys. This vine was sitting really high in the air and it snapped off. It's a secondary here, so you can see this thing was up like this. Fell down. Luckily, I got a secondary there. We'll trim that off and see how it looks, and might be able to grow that one out if it's connected good. Otherwise, this vine is done. That's too much damage. Now, if we go over to this one, with the rain, I had a lot of vines up in the air. You can see this one here split just a little bit. That'll be okay for what it is. It's not ideal, but we'll just keep moving on with that one. I had one other one do that too, so this plant ain't too bad as far as vine height. They're up there, but this one over here, you can see he's got some pretty tall ones. You got to be careful too that these tendrils don't stick down and hold the vine up. That's partly what happened here, is what it is. So we'll keep moving on. All right, that vine we broke the other day, normally I don't do this, but So since this vine's going to be shorter than the one in front of it, you know, that one should have been out to there. I'm actually going to train and crisscross vines so this one can go that way, just so when I'm burying, otherwise that vine's going to get lost behind it and it's going to be hard to get in there and bury. So I'm going to crisscross vines, and when I do that, I'm going to mark it out real good in case I'm in the plant weeding so that I don't accidentally step on it, because normally there's just a nice even spacing between all the vines. So I'll mark it real good. We'll crisscross vines. Not a normal vine pattern practice, but I think that'll work out for us. July 6th, here's a 2261 Schmidt. It was day 20. I went ahead and measured it on day 20, and it was 116 inches, which is normally, for me, quite small. Normally, I'm around that mid 140s up to like 190. 191 was my biggest one. In general, I'd say your day 20 doesn't matter, but this one's significantly less than most. If you got a difference between a 140 and a 170, I'd say no big deal. So a little bit small, but I mean, this plant it's really nice. I'm just quite not sure. Hopefully this baby takes off. If not, I don't know. Some are studs and some are duds. So hopefully this one will go for us, but there's a 2261 Schmidt for the week. All right, so yeah, I had my mom was out here visiting, my mom and dad, and I had my mom go ahead and name this pumpkin, and she named it Maddie. Maddie with T's. So I think that means like warrior in battle or something. So hopefully she can keep fighting the good fight. So that's Maddie. And we'll go check out this other one. My wife named that one. Let's go check that one out. All right, here's a 2593 Peyton. And so if you guys don't know, we do measure these pumpkins, and maybe I'll do a quick snippet on it next week, but we measure side to side, over the top, and then the circumference around there, and that gives our estimated weight of the pumpkins. So if we want to grow a 2,500 pound pumpkin, we got to be somewhere around 500 inches, 490, 500 inches. Okay, so anyway, my wife, she named this pumpkin Big Block. So as you know, like the biggest motor Chevy made, it was actually in a truck, is 496 cubic inches. So if we can get this up to 496 inches, we might be all right. You know, they made a marine motor that was 502. That'd be even better, you know, and then go on to race motors from there. But so there is no replacement for displacement, and hopefully this baby's got it. So this is Big Block, and we'll call her BB for short. So my wife named this one 2593 Peyton. There's a look at the plant for the week. So hopefully we'll see you next week, and probably be 300 pounds bigger at least. So we'll see what happens. All right, we're back here at 2200 Wolf, which is just weeds. And so what happened with that plant? You know, guys, I don't know that we'll ever know for sure. I talked to Amanda Givens, and she was fairly confident in Roundup damage and didn't really show any signs of disease. And I wasn't quite sure I agreed with her at first, but it did look like the plant was straightening out right before I pulled it. And obviously I posted the video, and thanks everyone for your comments, suggestions, trying to help out. I really appreciate it. Ron Wallace had made a comment that he had about the exact same thing a few years ago, where he had sprayed Roundup around the plant in the root zone and watered shortly thereafter that. And you know what, guys? That's exactly what I did. Now, Roundup isn't really designed to use that mode of transportation, right? You're supposed to spray it on the leaves, right? But if you do some research, you can find out that Roundup can be absorbed through the plant roots. And especially if I went and sprayed a huge area and then watered an hour or two later, went right down to the root zone, sucked it up in the plant. So that's what I feel would happen. I can't be 100% positive on it. And then the way my sprinkler system works up, there is a possibility that we might have hit it a little bit with boron. And I've seen a couple guys suggest boron toxicity. So it could be one of those two things. That's what I'm gonna say it was. So I'm just gonna warn people that, hey, there might be some consequences spraying Roundup around, and if you do, probably do not water shortly thereafterwards. Maybe let it dry up or whatnot. So I'm not gonna use any more this year. I've just been doing some hoeing and stuff, and is what it is, and we probably screwed her up, but hey, that happens. So we'll catch you guys next week.